What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Reynolds Rapp the Sports Podcast. It's me, Reynolds. It's been a couple days. I've been down. Uh, Almost got killed, actually. Went to Hibachi to celebrate my parents' anniversary, and the guy tried to kill me. I'm allergic to seafood, and I think he must have mixed my steak up with the seafood juice, man. And yeah, it was one of those kind of weekends. And this video was actually supposed to have been done days ago. But I've been recovering, but we're back. And welcome to the podcast here. Um, we're just gonna do a short one today. I wanted to get my winners and losers out of the way here for you guys. I just wanted to express who I thought won the draft, who I thought lost the draft. I got some things I want to show you guys, by the way, that I'm going to be bringing up, and we're also going to prove today that the Rams. I'm sorry about this, LA fans and Rams fans, whoever loves the Rams. I'm sorry about it, but I am going to prove today that you guys are the biggest losers of this year's draft, actually, um, which actually had a lot of talent in it, by the way. Uh, so shout out to the NFL, and also shout out to the NFL for also the international players. The international players who were coming in, guys from Africa and England and overseas, and some of these guys who never played football before. They're getting and drafting these athletes, these freakish athletes from all over the world, other countries, and things like that, and they're teaching them the game of football. The only thing I'm questioning is that a lot of those guys haven't, actually played professional football. I mean, like ever. So we'll see how good the NFL is at developing. I know there was a few guys, who had success who never played at the highest level before, like a Jordan Mailata comes right off my mind, top of my brain. Uh, but I don't know if the success rate is going to be high, but we're going to keep an eye out for that. But international players, big winners of the draft this year. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. I want to put up something here on the screen, and this is from NFL Scout. Now, I don't know if this is the name of the person or, this is just pretty much who it's from. So we're going to go ahead and put up this information because I am going to read off of it. A lot of it I do agree with, some of it I don't, as far as my winners and losers. But what's interesting about it is, let's bring it up here. It's telling. It's very, very telling, actually. All right. So this is from NFL Scout draft grades and all of the grades, as you can see, that they will, gave out for the weekend here. And again, like I said, some of this I don't agree with. Like Arizona, I thought Arizona actually got an A. They should actually have an A. You got probably the best player in the draft, Jeremiah Love, and then also coming back around to getting Carson Beck too in the later rounds. Now I'll speak about that, Carson Beck, once we get to the Rams, and the Rams actually being our losers for tonight. We'll get to that. But Carson Beck, just keep that name in mind for 1 second when it comes to the Rams. But as you can see, a lot of the draft grades here, and like I said, a lot of it, well, not a lot of it, but some of it I do agree with, and not too many disagreements here. I just feel like some of these grades could have been either just a tad bit higher or maybe just a tad bit lower. So, according to, and I also thought that the Cleveland Browns B minus here from NFL Scout, I thought that was a little low. Getting a KC Conception along with Denzel Boston to have for either Deshaun Watson or Shador Sanders is a good look. You already got Harold Fannin, and say what you want about Jared Judy, but he is there. Uh, so but getting some weapons for those guys was big time. I think they had like Cedric Tillman last year and a couple other guys that just, So I thought they did well as far as getting the two wide receivers there in the beginning rounds for them. Dallas had an A, Caleb Downs getting one of the best players in the draft. Cool for them. Two teams on this list. Is it two teams he had on this list here? Baltimore Ravens with the A plus, which I also agree, grabbing Jacoby Lane and also Elijah Sarant. And there's also was a rumor that the Ravens actually stole Sarant from the Raiders when they did make a trade up to get him during that round. That they stole him from the Raiders, uh, who here, according to NFL Scout, had an A+ draft. Getting in Francisco Mendoza, yeah, Fernando. I keep calling him Francisco. I don't know why. I just want his name to be Francisco. But getting Fernando Mendoza there, best quarterback taken in the draft. Can't be mad at that. I also thought that I thought Kansas City man had an A+ draft. To be honest with you, I mean they took that Peter Woods they had grabbed, uh, Lane with the first pick, trading up to get him. Getting my guy that I thought that's going to be a player, my man R. Mason Thomas. I like R. Mason. He's going to be a pretty decent player. So I thought that the Chiefs actually had an A+ draft. They stole some guys and they drafted well. Um, I thought Tampa Bay had a pretty good draft as well. Tennessee getting Tate for my guy Cam Ward, who I'm high on. They just got to start putting the pieces around him so he can be able to do his thing. Um, yeah, so we just don't have another Justin Fields type of a situation. I would really hate that for Cam Ward, who actually has a lot of talent. So I like them grabbing Tate with that pick there. That was good for them. Philadelphia, I'm not going to speak too much about because that is my team. I don't want to, be a homer. A+, I think that's a little high for us to be honest. I probably would have went like a A-, things like that. I thought that we had a solid draft. Um, I did, trading up, getting Lemon, and then coming back and getting Eli Sowers in the second round, tight end, and then getting Bell, big kid. I think about 6'9", 370, something like that from Miami, tackle, which was pretty good. But I thought that we had a solid draft for the most part there. But my whole thing is out of all of this that we're actually looking at now, as far as these draft grades, the thing that's jumping out to me the most are these two D's. Actually, there's three of them here, but I'm not even going to speak about Jacksonville because Jacksonville, for the most part, from what we know of, has a pretty solid team. Um, you know, they got a bunch of good young players on that team, and they drafted well in the past. So for them to have this type of grade this year, I'm not mad at it. They drafted well for probably about the last 2, 3 years, so this should be a down year for them. So I can understand why they got that grade. But for the most part, Jacksonville should be a playoff team next year. Um, yeah, they should be in the mix. But these D's here, there's two of them. San Francisco. I thought that San Francisco they reached for the wide receiver. I think his last siblings, something like that from Old Miss. Big kid, can run a little bit. Oh, you need some weapons over there, man. You got Brandon Ayuk. We don't know what's going on with him. I actually read something today that said that the team, San Francisco, can't even reach the guy. They want to talk to him so they can be able to, get some trade scenarios and things like that situated. But according to what I read earlier, that they can't even reach him. So we don't even know what's going on with that. I mean, you got Ricky Pearsall, who they still waiting on. George Kittle is George Kittle. Jawan Jennings, I believe, is still a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he is. And there's not much else over there after that. I thought that, they had an opportunity to get a guy like a Denzel Boston that they just let slip right on to Cleveland. Uh, man, they need playmakers over there. And I like Brock Purdy. He's a pretty good quarterback, but he ain't that damn good. So I thought that they should have, yeah. I think they just went with the watch this pick. We're going to turn this kid into this type of a situation than just grabbing the better player, in my opinion, which was Denzel Boston, who was still on the board when they took that pick, when they made that pick for the wide receiver from Ole Miss. And forgive me for not remembering his name. But yeah, so that was one. But the Rams lost the draft for a multitude of reasons. Sean McVay, I mean, if you've seen any interviews or anything of that nature from his question, his response actually to the questions that he had as far as Ty Simpson being drafted. He was not pleased. He was not pleased whatsoever, and he had a good reason to. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why a lot of these GMs. I mean, these guys just don't know what the hell they're doing. Uh, so if there was like any rift between those two, and I'm pretty sure that there were, that just showed me that there's still a disconnect between the GMs and the coaches and the leagues when it comes to this draft situation. A lot of these guys, they bump heads when they're in that room, and we think a guy like a Sean McVay would have that kind of power to, be able to grab the guys that he wants to be able to. Like he's coaching them, like he's the one that's coaching these guys. So you think that he will have, a little bit more power over the GM, just a little bit when it comes to, players. We should get this guy, we should grab that guy, because I would think that the coaches are more closer to the football mind than the GMs are. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, let's take a look. I want to show you guys something. One second. I'm going to get to it. I just want to make sure I have it ready for you. But the Rams definitely lost the draft. Um, and I'm gonna show you exactly what they could have done. Because Ty Simpson, who's a project, this, that can we honestly say that he's better than a Carson Beck, a Drew Law from Penn State? I mean, I think he's probably right on par with those guys. I can't honestly say that Ty Simpson is better than Carson Beck. I can't say that. I mean, there might be some people out there who can, but me personally, I can't say that. And in this draft scenario, uh, I just 13 is pretty high. And you still got Stafford, won an MVP last year. Puka Nakua, he's going through some things that he's going through. You still got Devontae Adams, who's on the older side of things. The tight ends are questionable. Even, people like Cody Parkinson and Tyler Higbee, think what you want of them. Questionable, in my opinion. And, wide receiver room is thin for whatever reason, the age, off the field issues, you name it. So in this case here, I wanna show you guys something here, and I'm gonna share screen. So let's get it right here. Let's see if we can do this the right way. And I want to show you guys something because this is it's kind of wild to me. And and we'll come back to the chart here because I want to finish some things up with the chart. But I also thought that the Jets won the draft as well. Had was I didn't say won the draft, but was definitely one of the winners of the draft that night. Let me see something here because I want to share something with you guys. And let's see. I want to bring it up because I want you to physically see it, and I'm not sure. Let's see if I can. What's going on here? Where is my share screen? Okay, here we go. All right. So I want to show you guys something here for 1 second, and we're going to go to it, and I'm going to show you exactly, in my opinion, what the Rams should have done that night. And we're going to take a walk down memory lane, okay? And this is Spot Rack, okay? This is one of the tools that I've used in the earlier videos to help with the NFL tracker, help you track the drafts and things like that. Good for NBA as well. When the draft comes up, try it out. Spot Rack, get you going. All right, so as we can see, right there with the 13th pick, we got the Rams taking Ty Simpson. In my opinion, who I felt like they reached for, I don't believe anybody was going to, go ahead and grab Ty Simpson, even though there were rumors about the Cardinals possibly taking him at 20 or trading up or something like that. I did hear that, or that they took him early because they thought that the Cardinals was going to take him at 20. Even if that was the case, you let the Cardinals do that. Even if that was the case, you let the Cardinals go ahead and make that mistake because one first round grade was on Ty Simpson way too early. He wasn't a first round graded quarterback. Actually, the only one that was actually worth the first round grade. There was actually two, but one pulled out, and that was Dante Moore from Oregon. Remember, he was actually supposed to be in this draft before he actually decided to go back to Oregon. So there was only really two, him and Mendoza. But and then all of a sudden, when his name, you know, disappeared, Ty Simpson name appeared. So I don't know if they just tried to, well, we got to put somebody up there, and that's my opinion. That's what I thought. You know, they did was, we just took a guy and took a name, but it was the wrong name. All right, so keep in mind, they took Ty Simpson in the first round. And in the second round, what did the Rams do? And this is the reason why they lost to me, because in my personal opinion, I feel like you could have just waited and got back later in the draft, third, fourth round, because I actually have him ranked better than I think he's better than Ty Simpson in my opinion. And that's just period. But he's taller, bigger arm, probably more ready to play now than Ty Simpson is. So, in my opinion, I thought that Beck was the better of the two. So, but this is the reason why I feel like they lost the draft. So, and it's all about what they did in the second round more than what they took in the first. Now, if you go and we go through and we scroll, and this is the second round here. So we go down to the Rams. Now, Rams, what did they take? They took Max Clare, right? Tight end from Ohio State. Pretty good player, right? Pretty good player. But if you were going to go that route, and everybody knew that you had a glaring need for tight end, you let Kenyon Sadiq go to the Jets at 16. So my thing is, why not just draft Sadiq with the 13th pick? And you probably could have came back around in a second and probably still could have drafted Ty Simpson in the second round. Despite what those rumors were of, the Cardinals wanted him with the 20th pick or was trying to trade up. That's something that you want them to do. Um, The only one that was guaranteed this year is Mendoza, and that's it, pretty much. But and it just comes down to the rest of those guys. Put them all in a basket and put your hand in and grab one out. So even though I do feel like that, I thought Beck was the best one out of the rest. And then Alar, and then I had Ty Simpson actually ranked below both of those guys, actually, which is a funny case. But here, as you can see, why not just take Sadiq, he's right there, but then you go back in the second round and you take Max Clare. I'm not mad at it. Ohio State. It's a great school he went to. He played good against great competition, and he's probably going to be a great player. But you could have had the best tight end in the draft if that's what you felt, and then double back and went back and got you a quarterback later. So I'm not sure what they were thinking right here. The 13th pick, that's just way too high. Look at all this talent that's left on the board here. Ahead of Ruben Bain. The Ravens to Ione. Like these are guys that's probably going to be all pro. Like Monroe Freeland, Makai Lemon, you know Massador. Like Kyle Lawrence, Conception still there. Like you could have went wide receiver. You could have probably grabbed Lemon too as well. Just so much you could have taken right there with the 13th pick, and you went Ty Simpson. But that's not even my problem. My problem is the fact that you went tight end. Yeah, that is the problem, but it's a double back kind of a problem. Uh, You you took Max Clare in the second round when you could have just had Sadiq, a game changer, a guy who probably would have been an all pro right there for you. He would have helped Matthew Stafford out this year. With all Puka Nakua issues is going on right now with the Asian Devontae Smith, he would have done great things for you. And then not only that, you probably could have traded one of those guys like a Higsby or the other tight end that they actually have, and probably got a pick or something like that for him, either in this past draft or next year's draft. if you felt like that, or kept all three of them. But I definitely would not have taken Ty Simpson with the 13th pick, and that screams loser to me. Biggest one. I mean, it's just glaring out of all of the teams here. That is the most glaring part about the first and the second rounds to me is just what the Rams were doing in it. They could have had an opportunity to be able to get you. I mean, you could have had I mean, Beck learning underneath of Matthew Stafford in the later rounds. I don't really see any issues with that. You would have had Sadiq if your second round pick was, it was a tight end. So obviously those guys felt like that was the major need right after quarterback, but you could have gotten the best tight end in the draft. So I think that Les Need, I believe his name is, and you know, yeah, I think he dropped the ball this particular draft, which warrants a loss for those guys. Now, hopefully, you were able to see the entire screen here, which I was sharing. Let's see. Yep, but losers. Definitely the Rams in this case. Um, yeah, yeah, it's basically the Rams. So we're gonna stop sharing that. We're gonna stop sharing that because the Rams are our biggest losers of the NFL 2026 draft, and our biggest winners. I'll give you three. I'm gonna say the Jets, who got a B on this list. I thought the Jets did a fantastic job, actually. Two out of the three teams, actually. These teams are, bottom feeders actually. And so, the Jets, I thought had a wonderful draft. The Browns, they came back, and I thought they had a great draft as well. Definitely better than this B minus that they received from NFL Scout. And then the other one was Arizona. I love what Arizona waiting to get the quarterback, not trading up to grab anybody. They waited for Carson Beck to come to them. Fell right to him. You got Jeremiah Love, who's probably the best entire player in the draft. So that's always a win there. And yeah, the biggest losers to me, Rams, 49ers, California, Bay Area. Guys didn't do too well this year. But we'll see. Both of those teams are pretty good teams, so we'll see what they look like as the season progresses. But all right, people, that was it here. I am going to probably be back on. What am I going to be back on? I'm not sure. I'm still recovering. I want to do a live stream one of these days coming up. Probably do some commentary on a basketball game. Probably playoffs. We got playoffs going on right now. Um, so uh, doing commentary is something that we do here. So I would say Phillies, but they stink. But nobody's trying to watch them or talk about them right now at the moment. So I'm definitely not doing that. My Sixers are on the brink right now. They probably get knocked out tonight. I hope that's not the case. But we're universal. We're gonna try to keep tabs on these playoff games, and I might do a live or two, doing some live commentary on these games. Probably do it for the rest of the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, Leave comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Listen, Reynolds Rapp, it's a wrap.